Andrew Tang's the nicest guy ever, and he's very strong. He's just like slow chess isn't his game. You know, Ultra Bullet's his game. All right, sorry. Okay, next game.
He's good.
If you're our YouTube person, edit all that out.
Yeah,
everything.
I'll tell
Edit out the whole video. Just like show this and say white one. Okay. Okay. This is the second game. I don't want to go over all of it. It's Abdusattorov versus Carlsen, and I'm going to show 10 games of the stream. We'll take a break and we'll discuss the tiebreak format and all that nonsense. Okay, so let's get to some position of note. Okay, now.
It does suck.
Okay.
But, I feel fine now, so I guess at the end of the day, it wasn't too bad.
Okay. Now, we can't expect the players to play perfectly because they both have less than a minute and so forth. And it's move 50. Okay, the best move for white is putting in an H. He did do that, and then he missed. See, I thought black was going to play queen h7 when I was watching live, and I was like, man, that sucks for black. But Magnus found queen e8, now he's fine. Okay, and this is funny. When we watch the live commentary, it's really hard to watch because all the commentaries are unbelievably bad. And it made me sad I wasn't doing commentary because mine is like, me doing commentary is like if you put the brain of Carlsen, Kasparov, Fischer, and Karpov in one head and played chess and, something. Anyway, and here I was thinking white should play h6 because there's no discovered check I'm afraid of. And then the engine says h6, although it's a draw, but white's better. But he played bishop e3, which is fine. Okay, now Magnus went insane. So in this position, black's chances of winning are 0%. Okay, these pawns aren't dangerous, and this pawn is dangerous. Okay, so there's several ways to draw here. You can play queen here, or you can play the immediate draw, which you're going to like, and the chat's going to like, which is queen takes h5, because it puts it in h. And then after you take, I check, and we agree to a draw. Okay. And Magnus played for the win, which is also playing for the loss. Now, often, when Magnus plays for a win, when the position is a draw, he does win. The problem here is black could never win. Like, I got that. So playing for a win's crazy here. He played f5, which is unbelievably bad. And the idea is if you take, knight g3 check forks the king and queen. But the only way this is going to be a draw if black gets some perpetual. Otherwise, this is going to win in the end. So this is an incredibly bad judgment by Magnus. And it's probably because his opponent's low rated in 17. And he's like, well, I'm playing some kid and the position's equal, so I'll beat him in an equal ending. The thing is, it is equal, although not now, but it's an equal where black has 0 winning chances. Now, the best move, which was not found, is to always retreat. Okay, and he didn't find it because he's not a student of mine, Abdusattorov. Notice, if you take this, there's knight check, and if you do nothing, queen check is annoying, and you have a move that stops both. Always retreat, king e1. Now, there are no checks, and the f-pawn's hanging now, and white's better. Okay, but he played h6, which is what I would have played. I like h6. Like, queen e5 is insane. He's playing for a win when you can't win. Okay, king f1 is okay. Queen d5 threatens knight here, check, winning the queen. Very sneaky. So king g2. Now here, I thought he would play king h2. Oh, the engine says king h1 because always retreat. But he played king h3. And now Magnus has good drawing chances after this. But black can't win because this is too strong. Now the gawking rabble, and by the gawking rabble, I mean Leko and Gustafsson, they were like, yeah, probably Abdusattorov can draw here. Magnus is playing for the win. I've never been so angry. Okay, either this pawn queens or it doesn't. If it queens, then white wins. Black can never win. Okay, so he checked, which is good. And then he checked again. And I was like, queen g7, queen g7, queen g7. right? And the commentators didn't see that. They're like, oh, now white has a perpetual check. Yeah, this love of Magnus has to stop. You got to look at the position. Okay. And then Magnus didn't play king here. Presumably he was playing for a win, although he would have lost anyway. It would have been the same thing. Always repeat. And then he played here. Now this is a draw, theoretically, but practically white just always wins. Black has no time on his clock, and I'm going to go here. So black's never going to draw this. And if it's an engine, then black's going to draw this. But if it's a human, black's not going to draw because I'm going to go here. I mean, so the game's over, basically.
Yeah, how would black draw it?
The engine says every move draws. So, you check a lot, so forth. Okay. So now he's probably losing or close to it. Yeah. They were praising Magnus for playing f3. They were like, wow, Magnus is a genius. He gave up his pawn so he has more checks. Yeah, real genius. All right. And then, obviously white's going to win because it's two humans playing. So he can't. There's nothing he can do. Yeah, this might even be winning already. Terrible. Always repeat. Yeah, now it's winning for sure. Yeah, soon it's going to be buenos, no checks. That check is terrible. Yeah. Queen 8, put it in H, the worst square on the board, making sure you can never do anything. And then Magnus blundered, but he was losing anyway. Now, nobody talked about this, and the engine doesn't like this move, but this is my favorite move.
Okay.
Here's a move you would never consider. And if I told you to tell me every legal move, you would miss this one. You'd be like, oh, I didn't see that. And this move is unexpected. It doesn't change the nature of the position. So Magnus was confused. Obviously, if I take this pawn, black has more checks, just like when he got up his f pawn. So he played king c5. That's a really sneaky move. It's not a good move. It's just that Magnus isn't expecting king c5. So now Magnus can check here. Magnus can check here. Magnus could not check and play like b4.
So why did he play king c5?
It's not clear what black should do here, and black has seconds left. So that's a great move. So it turns out this move draws and this move draws. He would have lost, but they draw with perfect play. Mm-hmm. But he played b4 triple question mark. Now the game's over. Magnus was trying to give his pawn away so he could have more checks. Check. You can't play queen b2. So he played king a1, which loses immediately. But he's actually losing immediately anyway. And then queen d4, he resigned. Because he trade queens and you queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben doesn't hate Carlsen.
What? Mm-hmm. Me and Carlsen are like, that, son. Right. Again, you guys don't understand what hero worship is. So, for example, when you guys are like, Kobe, and you mean it, you're like, Kobe's the greatest. Kobe's a good basketball player. I mean, he was. But that's it. Nothing else.
No, the kid who won did not cheat.
Nothing.
And nobody thinks that.
Right. You guys got to stop your hero worship. Everybody's a terrible person, especially the people that you worship. They're the worst. And they're good at something, and you guys aren't good at anything, so you're like, wow, he's good at basketball. Wow. And then you're like, wow, he must be a good person. All right. And so forth. You guys learned about who Aaron Rodgers was recently. Terrible. Okay. Go sub. Man, I lost 400 subs. Okay. Does Karen know how to do the helicopter? What? Kobe? Yeah.
The what?
Tom Brady, also a terrible person.
What does the helicopter mean?
Well, he like helicopter mom, and then he died in a helicopter. Helicopter, yeah. Too soon on Rodgers. I don't know. He's trying to make a joke, but he's not funny. Yeah, I like Joe Burrow. Yeah.
Yay.
Random 2600 from Yabba. Terrible. NJ Crispy. Yay. All right. So go Abdusattorov, our new ruler. Yeah. Now, I first saw Abdusattorov in 2012 and or 11, I guess 12, not sure what year it was, in Maribor in Slovenia. In that event, Nodirbek won the World Under 8. And don't be late. So I've seen him in World Youths all the time. What's funny, I was talking about him with the Fred Gwynn, and Fred said he likes the Utes.